Tav and Dale might be back next week. Obviously, Dale played at Norwich. I mean, how is he? Is he?
Well, he's not trained yet, Scott. He's actually going to train today, but I won't rush him back if he doesn't. If he's only having one session, I know what Dale's like. He'll want to play, so I'll just see how he is in comparison before we make that decision.
Okay, and I mean, you've obviously strengthened the top end of the pitch, which is what you've been looking to do. I mean, all things being equal, fingers crossed there's no massive injury problems or anything, you would imagine you'd know what your team will do defensively between now and the end of the season because they've been solid all the way through. Is it what happens at the other end of the pitch now that will probably go a long way to determining where you finish?
I think it's always has, Scott, really. I think the lads that have played in those forward positions have done remarkably well to get us up at the table where we are. People like Jed on the right wing, are you with me? Not a natural wide player, but his contribution's been good, and Marv and that, So it's just nice to have other options, of probably more natural attacking players.
Yeah, and I know it's kind of, clearly the way that the world is and the way that finances are, you've kind of had to work in a certain market. But one of the upshots of that is you brought in players who, for various reasons, really have a point to prove. There's players who you brought in who probably not too much of a leap of faith to say what happens in the next 6 months will determine probably what happens in the rest of their career, potentially. So,
I think everybody I brought in under that assumption, if I'm honest. Yeah. I think they've all got things to prove, haven't they? Yannick's only played for Congo, I think, in the last 6 months. You could see how relieved he was to start last week when I told him, let's get some fitness on board. I know it was Norwich City, but I just felt it was for the right reasons, really, to get him up so we could, get on with the rest of the season.
And just lastly, I know you kind of answered this with Simon, I think, but I certainly get the impression that you now feel more comfortable with the squad you've got. I think you feel that there's more options there, that you're happier going into this last 20-game chunk with this squad. Is that fair?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, Steve, we talked about all the time. I had to call Steve up on Monday night, when the Neeskens thing come up at 9:30, because I'd already got, Mendes then and Yannick, and straight away he was there. Yes, go on then, and I think that's the support that I've got. He knows that when you look behind at the bench, no disrespect to the bench, but it hasn't been a bench where you could put players on to win a game. I didn't think, whereas I do now. I think you could change a game now at the drop of a hat, really.
Great. Good luck tomorrow.
Thanks, Scott.
Cheers,
Craig.
Hi, Neil.
Hi, Craig.
Just a quick one first for clarity, Neil. Obviously, you've mentioned there you're happy with your squad, but are you looking at any free agents at all? Will you consider anything, or are you just happy with what you've got?
No, just happy. Probably one extra than I thought with the Neeskens thing, Craig, and so no, nobody really. No, we've got to get on with what we've got. We're very lucky to have got what we've got, really. I think it's been a great window for us, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and just on Nathan Wood, you mentioned sending him out, and I know it was something you kind of went back and forth with over the course of the month. What was it in the end that kind of swayed you to kind of allow him to go out?
I think in the 2 games against Blackburn and Rotherham, I think he showed that he needed games, the positioning wise and things like that. And I just thought you can't do that. You can't get that by training and coming on for 10 minutes, or you need games to get in that situation. And I thought, what's the best thing for him and the club really is for him to go and play some games, rather than just be backup for me just in case he gets injured or he gets injured. So I thought for the lad's future, it was the best decision, really.
Yeah, and I mean, on his future, it's still just 18-year-old. I mean, a player with a bright future ahead if he continues as he is.
Well, yeah, now he's got an opportunity to go and play. People have talked about, the future for a long time on Woody. Now he's got to go and show it on the field of play. I think, sometimes you can talk all day, but you've got to show that that you're improving all the time and getting a team. First of all, he's got to get in Crew's team and then stay in there.
Yeah, and finally, just on Grant Hall with Deal a doubt for Saturday. How's Grant doing? I saw he was training during the week.
Yeah, he's had another good week. Yesterday, that was the best I've seen him yesterday. So obviously, if there were anything happening with Dale, he'll be in consideration for that. I'm hoping he will play on Sunday if he doesn't get a full game on Saturday. I want him to have 90 minutes with Ashley in that game as well. So by the end of this next week, he should be up and going really.
Yeah, and just finally for me, is Dykesdale back training as well now?
He's training. I think he's training this morning. He's had a bad time really. Very like I say, he's had an abscess removed, and they're not very nice things. You don't know whether you want to talk to Juicy about it, but Juicy had the same thing. He was off 3 weeks, but he does go over the top, doesn't he, Juicy? He does. He does make it sound worse than what it is.
Lovely. Thanks very much, Neil.
Joe.
Hi, Neil. You okay?
Come on, Joe.
Just off the back of that question, you obviously feel with sending Nathan Wood out on loan, you feel you've got enough cover at centre-back with Grant Hall, and Bowler could probably step in there as well.
I just felt, no matter how selfish I was, that he had to go out. The 2 games last week that he played, I thought he showed certain things in his game that he needs to brush up on, really. And you don't get that in training. You've got to do that by making decisions on the field of play and with your positioning and things. And I thought, well, he's got 18. He's got to go and get some games now, and that's the best thing for him, really, for the club's point of view.
Just with Neeskens Kebano coming in, was he one of the players that you felt you'd missed out on that you were telling us about?
Yeah, absolutely. I was told that the manager wouldn't let him go. So I was delighted. And it was accidental, really. Alistair from Fulham rang me about something, and his owner was on the phone. We just switched on one of these Zoom things in America, and I had 5 minutes with him. And after that 5 minutes, he agreed to my request. So I was delighted, really. I mean, to manage to do it, I think, in the office, when Karen and Laura in the office, how they got it done in an hour and a half, I don't know. It was unbelievable. That was just for one player. I don't know what these clubs are like, signing 3 or 4 players. It was the amount of paperwork that you've got to do to get it done by 11 o'clock. So all credit to them, yeah.
Yeah, obviously he'll help your attacking options, but do you see him as a winger, or could he even play number 10 as well?
He can play both, yeah, he can play both. He's done that for Fulham numerous occasions, so it gives us another string to the bow, really, doesn't it?
And obviously him coming in probably allowed Patrick Roberts to go out.
Yeah, Patrick. I said to Patrick, he'll do well at Derby because they play a different game, and he'll get it into his feet, and he can run at people. And whereas with us, as I said to him, I signed him in good faith. I thought when I signed him, he could have a big part to play, but he couldn't play wide in our system because he couldn't track full-backs. And when I played him in the hole, if we played against a good 3 in there, which most teams have, we were outnumbered. So it just didn't work out for him. Whereas I think he'll do well at Derby. I think it's, the way they play, he'll have more opportunities.
Mm-hmm. And just finally, I think it was on deadline day, you took time out to speak to the Disabled Supporters Association. How important is it to kind of keep that connection with the fans and speak to the fans?
I think it's massive, especially at this time where there's so much depression around with what have you. I think if I can make somebody laugh or acknowledge the support that they give us, I think it's only fair, really. And I'm very fortunate to be in this position that I can talk to people like that and try and give them an insight into what's happening behind the scenes. Every supporters club's branch, whatever they are so important to us. And the sooner we get them all back, the better. Really, it'll be nice. I'm hoping before I call it a day, I get full house at the Riverside.
Cheers, Neil.
Okay, that's it. Okay, lads, thank you.
Neil. Neil.
Who's that? Oh, Robert. Hiya, Robert.
Hiya. I just wanted to just build on what you just mentioned there about the supporters. We're all extremely excited about the signings you made the transfer window. Is it a real lift around the club, do you feel?
Yeah, I do. I mean, let's be fair, it's going to be a big test tomorrow, isn't it? Brentford. Couldn't have wished for a better game. But everybody's been lifted by the lads. They're so keen to do well. When you think they're all playing for the future, even the lads like Britt and Ashley who are out of contract, they're all playing for the future now. So they've all got things to do. So I'm delighted with that competition. Hey, I would say, Rob, you know my favourite Barry Manilow is that Coco Cabana. You know that song. So can you ask the supporters to get a song for that for Cabana when he? Are you with me when he comes back?
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll do some wording in that. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Work on that.
I'll look forward to listening to some of them.
Right. It's as you're saying though. Playing Brentford, such a real test, and having played them so recently. But this is going to be a completely different game, isn't it, to that cup game in every way, in the preparation and the whole setup of it.
Yeah, I just want us to give us a good game. I don't think our season's going to depend on tomorrow, but I'm sure we can give them a good game. And it's February now, so it's a new month, and we want to start off on the right footing. So, let's have a go.
T-side!
Be bold. Be immersed. Be transformed. Be T-side.
Neeskens, welcome to Middlesbrough Football Club. Great to see you here. How have you found your first few days as a Middlesbrough player?
Yeah, so that's my second day in. I had already 2 sessions, and I found it very, very good. I like the installation here, and everything is nice.
Yeah, obviously it was a move that came about pretty late in the day. How did it happen from your point of view? There was obviously interest from Middlesbrough for a couple of weeks, but
honestly, like, if you ask me if Monday by 8 I knew that I was moving, I will answer no, because it happened just quickly in the evening. By 8:30, my agent just called me and told me that, okay, there is a possibility for me to go on loan, because before that I couldn't. And it just happened quickly and stuff, and I'm happy to be here today.
Yeah, and obviously, the fact that you've wanted to move is because you want to play regular football, and that speaks to your character, I suppose, that you want to play games and you want to be involved.
Yeah, of course. When you're a football player, you want to play. You're making that sport to play games, and I was not having the amount of game that I wanted, so that's why I needed to make a decision.
And you've come into a team, obviously, that's, you've had experience of the Championship before, of getting promoted from this division. You come into a team that is hoping to do the same again.
Yeah, from what I've seen, there's lots of quality in the team, and with me and the new lads, I hope that we'll be good enough to bring what we have to, and try to get the promotion this year.
Yeah, and a few of the lads already. Yannick, and Britt
Yannick
from playing
and Britt for playing with them in the national team. I know Bet and Archer, because I played with them last season in Fulham. Spence, that I was seeing in the academy with Fulham. So a couple of heads that I know, and obviously many players that I played against. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's a really good group as well. What's been your experience so far? They're a very welcoming group to come into.
Honestly, they welcome me very well. So they're making me feel like it's my home. So everything will be good here.
Yeah, and the manager as well. Obviously, there's very few, if anyone, who has as much experience at this level of getting promotions as well. So that must be a pull to come and want to play for him as well.
Yeah, of course. You know, you always want to play for the good managers, and he's one of them.
Yeah. And just lastly, in terms of the fans who may not know everything about you, what sort of player would you class yourself as? What can you bring to this team?
I'll bring to the team my quality going forward, my dribbles, hopefully goals.
Yeah, a couple of free kicks as well, goals. Maybe as well.
Yeah, hopefully. I can't wait to get going and just to embrace the challenge.
In their last 4 championship matches, drew against Swansea in midweek. Did win their last game on the road. They beat Luton 3-0. Ivan Toney on the score sheet once again. He's been a real revelation since coming to Brentford. This is a really good run and a good chance. And a shot fired across goal and just wide. Brilliantly done by Josh Da Silva. Headed on by Akpom. Raya. Lost at Watford on the opening day, Borough, and beaten in 9 games since, 4 victories in that time. But they're on the back foot here, Brentford coming forward in number once again. Shot curled goalwards, but straight at Bettinelli. Ivan Toney looking to pick up the pieces, but nothing there. Matthias Jensen. Drawn quite a few games on the road this season. Middlesbrough, their last away win came at Bristol City. Shown good resilience here, though, to snuff out Brentford going forward. Who knows, maybe they can catch a goal on the break. Johnny Howson. Well, it's a good turn. And Akpom fires just over. One of the best moves we've seen from Borough in the second half. Set up by Johnny Howson. Lovely turn from Akpom, but couldn't keep the shot down. Just turned away from the 2 defenders. Good vision from Howson to pick out Akpom in the centre. Caught from the long throw, rather. Sorensen will take it. Flick on, oh, hooked away from right in front of goal. Tavernier should complete the clearance. Well, it was the long throw. I think it was Ethan Pinnock at the near post that got the flick. But no one able to get a touch goalwards in the centre. Da Silva. Can't find a way through, can't find any great space at the moment, Brentford. Might stand a chance here, though. Ball goes right the way across. Oh, what a chance! And it's not being taken. Probably one of the chances of the match. Ivan Toney holds his head in his hands. Borough bench, that is. Got the corner. It's not a good one. Clear the way comfortably. Great shot back in. And just wide. Mark Bowler caught it really well, and that would have been some goal had it gone in just wide of the target. Back to David Raya, but there goes the full-time whistle. Nothing to separate these sides. Neil Warnock resilient once again. Side extend their unbeaten run into double figures now, 10 games unbeaten for them.